Heyo everybody, Haku here with a video like I try to do every season, where I did my usual, which is to go through and watch all of the PVs for the season of anime. I watched all the PVs for every anime that's airing in summer 2025, and decided on what I'm going to give a chance to and not. Now I am really behind on anime. I don't know what to do about that because I just finished up the batch of anime that I was watching and I'm now starting my 2023 anime project. I've already finished 2 anime from that, and if I was starting 2024, I wouldn't feel that bad about it, but starting 2023, I don't know. It kind of hurts because there's a benefit to being a bit behind. It means I can marathon things. Like, even if I'm not immediately doing things while they're fresh in everybody's mind and getting those views, it is good because I get to marathon things. If there's an uncensored version, it's going to be easier to find. If there were OVAs that came out with it at the end, then I'm going to be able to watch those along with it instead of just down the line later. So there are just like benefits to being behind, but being this far behind it's a bit much. But I've started 2023 anime, so at the end of this video, once we go through summer 2025 and talk about these, I will actually and I'm just now realizing you can't really see the title of the top left one. Not ideal. I might switch up the setup. Nah, it's fine. I can just read it out for you. It's Uchujin Mumu. But yeah, I'm gonna just talk my way through these, then I can talk about what I'm watching right now, starting off 2023 stuff. And yeah, I'm just a bit far behind. But I will say, actually, before I go talking about all of these, if you want me to do reactions to any of the openings or endings for any of these, let me know. I did reactions last season to the new One Piece opening and to the Witch Watch opening and ending. So if you want me to do the next Witch Watch opening and ending, if there's any new openings for any of these, any thing that you want me to, because I'm going to try to hold off and not watch the openings if possible before I watch the show themselves, so I'm not spoiled on them. But if you do want me to do reactions to any of them, let me know and I'll do reaction videos to them totally. So yeah, either way, with that aside, I watched all of the PVs. There are some things that aren't here because I decided against watching them that are kind of close. So I'll go back through like when I finally get to summer 2025. And if anything is something that I marked not to give a chance to, but it has like a really high score and people really recommend it, then I might be like, okay, I judged it wrong by the PVs and I'll give it a shot. But this, I'll just give it a shot, and if I don't like any of these, they can be dropped. That's usually my way of doing things. So starting off, there was Uchujin Mumu, and I think a lot of these are things continuing on from spring up at the top that I said I would watch in spring. And Shirley I thought looked neat. Witch Watch is something that I've read the manga and I really enjoy it. So I am very excited to finally get to that. Shin Samurai Den Yaiba. Then Kijin Gentosho is something else that I think is still continuing from the last season. Yeah, began in spring. Haigakura began fall 2024. What happened here? Then we have the Kobayashi-san movie. Okay, so now we're getting into stuff that isn't just carrying on. Kobayashi-san movie, I'm really excited for. I haven't watched season 2 though. So I watched season 1 when it first aired, so I will need to go watch season 2 before I watch this. But I am excited for it. I liked Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Dragon. Then we've got Virgin Punk. Virgin Punk, to me, I think it says theaters, but it also says episode 2. So I'm not sure if it's a movie or an actual series. There isn't a ton of information, but it had one of the best PVs. I think this one looked very, very good. So again, if you're using this to also take recommendations from me, I will list off what I thought had the best PVs. Virgin Punk, I think, had one of the best PVs. Then we had Takopi no Genzai. That one looked good too. That one had a really good PV. It's only going to be 6 episodes, so it's a bit shorter. And I was like, this looks really good, but this little octopus guy is so untrustworthy. He has Fav from MGRP's voice. I'm not trusting him. Then we have Mataku Saikin no Tante to Kitara. And this one was a comedy mystery. Oh, this one did look pretty good. There are some where I have a tendency to be very lenient on things. So if anything even seemed like something that I wouldn't be like. The only reason that I was like, I'm not going to watch this is something that I just had no interest in. Something that I was like, I don't think I would really make it through like the full 12 episodes or whatever without basically forcing myself. This looks pretty good. So I'm going to give it a chance, and maybe I'll absolutely love it. Maybe I'll think it's just average. It's just one of those types of ones, but that's the kind of person I am. I'm the type to just be easy on things, give things a try if I think it's something that looks like from the PV that I would go through the full thing, and then that's kind of what you're going to see out of my list here. I don't know, kind of lost my train of thought on that one. We have Clevates Majuno to Akago to Shikabane no Yusha. This one I think had a really neat PV. So I'm interested because it is a fantasy, and it didn't have like the craziest animation, but it's getting a 1 hour special premiere, which usually only happens when they're really confident in a series, and it did look good. So it's one of those where I'm interested to see when I finally get around to watching summer 2025 stuff what the score is going to look like, because this could end up being like one of those really incredible ones, or it could just be kind of whatever. But it looks like it has a lot of potential personally, like from my personal taste. Then this one we have Milky Subway, the Galactic Limited Express. And it is a short form series, only 3 minutes and 30 seconds for the 12 episodes. This one has such a unique style. I was really interested in it. So it reminds me a lot of Western indie animation. And a lot of people in the comments for the PVs were like, oh, it's so great seeing these two together again or something. So I don't know if it's talking about the main two lead actresses or if there's something else that the people behind this have done. So I'm going into this completely blind, just having seen the PVs and what little information I have. But I do think from that little information, it looks really unique, really cool. Then you have Kamitsubakishi Kensetsuchu, and they have episode 0 is included in the Sentry. That one looks interesting. Again, let me glance through the, like for some of these I'm gonna have to glance through what they were about to try to remember them. I don't fully remember the PV for this one, so it's one of those where it was good enough for me to give it a chance. I kind of remember with the monster designs in this poster, but that again is just letting you know it's something that I'm willing to give a shot to, but something that the PV didn't stick in my mind like some of these PVs that we'll get to talk about. Dandadan Season 2, I didn't even watch the PV for this one, honestly. I just said I'm going to watch it because I had wanted to read the manga back when I was doing weekly Jump content and never got to it, and then Season 1 was really popular, so I still haven't gotten to Season 1, but I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch Season 2 just because it's popular. Popular doesn't always mean good, but let's be fair, it usually means it's at least somewhat good, you know? And that's also, I'm using, for any of you who want to use this site yourself, I always use LiveChart for keeping track of what I'm going to watch and watching PVs and stuff. I think it's really useful for that, and it's also really useful at looking for looking at scores for me, because anywhere else, AnyList scores are always like really low to me. like every series up there is like, and if you try to sort things by score, it's like, wow, people really rate this series this much higher than this series, and then some of them are like ridiculously low, way lower than they should be, and my anime list is a complete joke when it comes to scores. So even worse to AnyList there, my anime list scores are all over the fucking place. There are just anime that just genuinely are not very good with high scores, and then anime with abysmal scores even though they're really good. So it's all over the place. The reviews on my anime list are a hilarious parody of themselves. The fart huffery is insane. But I love using LiveChart to kind of plan out what to watch, because basically everything score-wise here, and again, hopefully me talking about the site doesn't bring more people to mess up the scoring, but scores on live chart are almost always a 7 point something. They are just almost always a 7. So that, I think, is the most helpful, because a 7.4, I might really like it. A 7.8, I might not like it as much, but I know that it's going to at least pass a certain level of quality. Meanwhile, it's so rare for something to drop below a 7 that if something is below a 7, I know that there was something about it that people really hated, and getting above 8 is rare enough that when something does get above 8, it's like, okay, they must have really cooked with this. So I think that's very helpful. But I got kind of distracted there. So there's Dawn to Dawn, there's Arknights, and this is season 3, right, of the Arknights anime. I watched season 1 and I loved it. I loved the first season of Arknights, even though I haven't played the game at all. So I'm going to watch season 2 for my 2023 project. I think that was in 2023, like fall 2023. And then I'm going to get to this when I get to it. Then we have Yofukashi no Uta Season 2. I watched Season 1 when I did the 2022 anime project, so I'm going to be watching this. Then Silent Witch I thought looked neat. It's funny, Silent Witch I think looked really good. It kind of looks like the sort of anime that I'd really enjoy. I mean, one of my favorite anime of all time is Little Witch Academia. But I don't know. I don't know. It's got kind of the somewhat comfy look to it, but it seems like it has a really good story. And the animation looked nice, so it's something that I think could have the potential to be a really high-rated one for me. But we'll have to see. But Yofukashi no Uta Season 1, I kind of skimmed over. Season 1, I think, was kind of B tier for me when I watched the first season for the 2022 project. My general review of it was that, story-wise, it wasn't offensive, it wasn't terrible, it was just meh to me, but visually and music, auditorily, the music was incredible, the animation was very, very good, the direction was killing it, there was just so much style, it just oozed style, but the substance, the actual story and characters were just kind of meh. So that was my review of the first season. Either way, we'll see what I think of the second season. Will they keep up with the visuals and music and direction and everything? We'll have to see that. And will the story and characters really deepen and improve, or will I care about them more? We'll have to see where that goes. Then we have Watari-kun no XX ga Hokkai Sunzen. Yeah, that one, this is another one that seems neat, but might be kind of meh to me. Also, there's a lot I noticed. There's romance as a genre. I never saw romantic subtext as a genre before. I guess maybe it's a new thing on LiveChart, because I saw a bunch of it when watching PVs for this season. But this is another one that seems like, honestly, it could be meh. Like, there are a lot that were meh that I said, you know, I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to give a try, because I already know from the PVs it doesn't seem like it would keep my attention through 12 episodes. But some of these, you know, just giving it a shot, and if I get like 1 or 2 episodes in, I'm like, yeah, I can't do this, I'll drop it. There are a few that it's like they had like a good-looking anime girl or something, and I'm like, man, sometimes one waifu can carry a series, but I don't think it could get me through this full thing. So this is another one that was kind of a little bit on the chopping block, but good enough for me to try. Bad Girl, I think, looked neat. Again, we'll have to see. It's based on a 4-koma, though. I feel like sometimes stuff based on 4-koma can be really fun. Then we have Season 2 of Sono Bisque Doll. I really, really love Season 1. I think, actually, now, when I first watched, I really, really enjoyed it and appreciated it. But now, like, a year or so after watching it, having watched reaction series to it and everything, I feel like I appreciate it even more now than I did when I first watched. So that's going to be fun, I'm hoping for. Again, I really like Cloverworks. Then we have Hikaru ga Shinda Natsu. That was, I think, the best PV. For me. It's like the summer Hikaru died. Yeah, that one had the best looking PV. It's a horror, which in my experience, horror anime are more often not so great than they are pretty good. Like, for some reason, the anime industry just doesn't always do horror very well. Most horror anime that come along just don't tend to be very good. But this looks extremely good. This looks so good. That was probably my favorite PV. Puniru wa Kawaii Slime second season. I haven't seen season 1, but it's on my list of things to watch when I get to that season. But I thought it looked really good. It was one of those where I was kind of on the fence about it, but then I kept seeing people post like clips and screenshots, and I keep seeing stuff about the manga or whatever and art from it on Twitter. So I'm like, you know what? I keep seeing stuff about it, so I'm definitely going to give it a try. Then we have Ruri no Hoseki. I saw people tweeting stuff about this like well over a month ago, and I thought that it looked good from that. So then when I actually get to the PV, I'm like, yeah, I already thought this looked good. Cute girls doing cute things is like... I mentioned how horror is like not a stable genre for anime. When it comes to the percentage of good versus percentage bad, cute girls doing cute things is like a heavily solid, it's like a heavily solid genre. So I think it looks really good though. Night of the Living Cat. I thought from the title, from just the image and everything, I was like, okay, I don't know about this. It's probably going to be goofy, low quality, whatever. Then I watched the PV and it had one of the best PVs. I was like, hold on, they are absolutely cooking. It is about a zombie apocalypse, but with cats. And it's like played seriously, but it's so goofy. Like they're seriously trying to survive, but it's goofy because it's cats instead of zombies. Where if a cat touches you, you turn into a cat. It's so cool looking. Like, it's one thing to take one of these goofy sort of ideas for an anime and like not play to its full effect, which I've seen in a lot of anime, or not like really go all out, but this looks like it totally went all out with the idea, and it looks great because of it. It looks so good. Gachiakta, I'm very excited for. I have actually read like the first volume or two of the manga a while back. So a while back, I read the first volume or two of the manga. I thought about maybe bringing it to the channel, but I wasn't sure. Then it got popular, and I was like, okay, well, now it's a popular thing. I could have been on it before it got popular, and now it's getting an anime adaptation already. It feels like it's not even that old, but then again, you know, for me, it's like time flies. City the animation, again, from this visual, from the title, a lot of people have apparently heard of the manga and were excited because they love the manga, but I had never heard of it before. I was like, oh, this doesn't look very good. There are a lot of very often like kind of advertisement-y anime that are kind of low quality that I kind of have to filter out every season, where I'll look at it and be like, okay, this is just another advert anime. But so I thought that could maybe with a title like that be something like that. But no, apparently it's a manga that people really enjoy, and the PV looks really, really good. Very heavy Nichijou vibes. So I am excited to check that one out. Then Food Court de Mata Ashita, that one looks really fun. It's only 6 episodes, so it's going to be another shorter one. We have a lot of shorter ones this time around. We have Watashi ga koibito ni nareru wake janai, muri muri, and then muri janakatta. This one, I think, was really cute looking. It's girls' love. And for me, I am a certified Yuri enjoyer, so I think that I'll enjoy it a lot. I hope I will. The PV itself looked okay, but I'm hoping that the ideas behind it can help carry it, and that it's, you know, better than the PV let on. Turkey, we got a bowling anime, let's go for it. And I think it's a cute girls doing cute, like it's not listed as cute girls doing cute things, but that's kind of the vibe I think I got from the PV. So yeah, I am totally in. I watch all these kinds of anime all the time where it's like, oh, cute girls forming a cheer squad, anime, yeah, let's do it. Oh, cute girls do a baseball team, let's do it. I watch all these types of anime. Oh, cute girls fishing, let's do it. So cute girls bowling, I'm going for it. Then we've got Tensei Shitara, or Daina no Oji datta node, Kimama ni Majutsu wo Kiwamemasu, second season. So I don't... Is this the one with the one with the guy with the thick thighs? It is. Okay, the Shota with the thick thighs. This is that one. I was going to say, I don't remember watching the PV for this, but I marked it as watching, so I must have the second season as something, or the first season as something to watch. So yeah, I still need to watch the first season, but the first season looked good to me, and I will be watching again. And looking from this PV, it's not just the Shota with the thick thighs, we have more thick thighs incoming. Then we have new panty and stocking with garter belt. Like a decade ago, I loved the original, so we'll see if they can, I feel like people really liked panty and stocking. I really liked panty and stocking. They kind of have a big challenge ahead of them doing panty and stocking 10 years later, and I'm hoping that they can live up to it and deliver something really good and really fun. But it's good. This is, again, going to be a challenging anime. We'll see how it happens. Futari Solo Camp looks really fun, really cute. I'm excited for that. It, again, is one of those cute, chill, comfy type anime that I think I could really end up enjoying, because I often end up liking them. Then Togen Anki. Which one was this? Oh yeah, this one looks neat. The whole inheriting bloodlines of Oni and Momotaro reminds me of Peach Boy Riverside, which I just posted the review for today. So I think that one looks neat. Whenever I see, Netflix is where it's releasing. It doesn't mean they had a hand in making it. But the sad truth is, whenever I click onto an anime PV and you get the Netflix done at the beginning, it's like, oh god, oh no. Yeah, it's very often a portent of not the greatest anime. But, hopefully it's great. The PV looked really good. Sakamoto Days, I love the manga. I covered the manga for a long time on the channel before falling behind, and I'm currently, I need to reread up to where I stopped doing videos, and then I want to continue videos on the manga. So, it's something I've covered on the channel, something I love and enjoy, so I definitely will watch Season 2. Kimetsu no Yaiba I have still never seen Demon Slayer, but I will watch it. I think there's a season or something in 2024. It's confusing because there's just a bunch of movies and shit. I hate when anime does that, honestly. Just make things as a series. It's my personal bias. I like shows more than movies. So when I see, like, Kimetsu no Yaiba being a ton of movies, I'm like, the manga wasn't even that long. How are you still making movies? Like, what is even happening? So I will marathon through it for when I do the 2024 anime project. I'll marathon to catch up before I do whatever was in 2024, and then I'll watch this when I get to it, I guess. Because I'm assuming this is something new and not just a theatrical release of something that was already a TV show. Because if it is, I'm just going to watch the TV show version. But I think it's new content. It's confusing, though. Then Utagoe wa Mile. Well, I don't speak French, so sorry about that. It looked neat. Again, it's one of those where it's kind of on the edge for me. Anime girls doing music is typically a very good setup. Those anime tend to be very good. So I'm going to give it a shot. If I don't like it, I might not make it that far, but I want to at least give it a shot. It's one of those types. We have Nukitashi, the animation. And, oh yeah, this one is another one. I think it looks neat. It looks interesting, but I might not personally like it. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. It is an ecchi. We don't actually get all that many ecchi anime these days, so I am interested in giving it a shot, checking it out, seeing what happens. We have second season of Kaiju number 8, or Kaiju Hachiko, and it was again a exact same situation actually as Dandadan, where I wanted to read it back when I was doing Jump Stuff Weekly, and then I didn't get a chance to. I'm going to watch season 1 before I go to do this, so it's just one of those situations. Then Karaoke Iko looked really good. Again, it's only 5 episodes, so even if it's kind of meh, I can go through with it. Dogakobo I really like as a studio, so I am very much interested in checking it out. And then I saw this one afterward. This one didn't look as good, but I believe they're both by Dogakobo, both 5 episodes. It looked like the two of them tied in together from the PVs, and if that's the case, I wanted to watch this one. This one I probably, just from its PVs, probably would have skipped out on. But I am going to give it a shot just because it's related to this one, and we'll see how it goes. Because again, combined, it's only 10 episodes between the two of them. And then we have Fushigi no Kune de Aristo, Dive in Wonderland, which I can't tell if it's going to be a movie. I think it's going to be a movie. It's not theater. I think it might be a movie rather than a TV show, but again, we'll see how things go. It looks like an adaptation of Alice in Wonderland, which there have been plenty of, and the PV looked very, very good. So that's it for my lineup of things I'm going to be watching here. Of course, some of the things that are getting multiple seasons are probably going to be very good. Kaiju number 8, Sakamoto Days, technically part 2 rather than season 2. The Thick Thigh Shota anime, this Thick Thigh Isekai, Puniru, Dandadan, a lot of second seasons I'm interested in, third seasons in the case of Arc Knights, movies for things I've already watched like Maid Dragon, Witch Watch is continuing, things like that, things that are continuations of things that have already proven themselves, I think are going to be good. But for the things that are new, that aren't just continuations, there's Gachiakta, of course, which is something that to me has already proven itself because I've read a bit of the manga, though it'll probably go past where I've read. But I think the best looking PVs for me were Virgin Punk, which I think is going to be a movie. You have Virgin Punk. I think Clevitas has potential to be high tier. And then again, with season 2, you got Yofukashi no Uta and Sonobiscal. I would say that would be, Virgin Punk could be in the top 3. Clevitas is maybe in 4th. And then Night of the Living Cat is also a top 3 one, I think, when it comes to PVs. And number 1, I think the best PV I saw for something new is Hikaru ga Shinda Natsu. I think that is the best looking one for me, just from the PV. But we'll see, because there are things that had good looking PVs before that ended out to not be very good. Like, what was it? Last year. It was last fall, I think. Last fall 2024. Uzumaki. Uzumaki, of course, really great manga. And the PV made it look like it was going to be good. I think people really loved episode 1, and then by the time they hit episode 2, it fell apart. So there is that. But yeah, I guess that's it for that. And really quick before I end the video, I'll talk about some of the stuff I'm watching right now for 2023. So I did just start doing 2023 stuff. This is my Annie list. My Annie list is always linked down in the description for all of my videos. But I was like, it's going to be choice paralyzing me if I do everything I want to watch up at one time, though maybe I could have given that a shot. So I was like, let me limit it. I'll limit it to 10. And then I'm like, no, that's not enough. Let's do 15. And honestly, 15's a bit much. 15, I was like, okay, I'm actually feeling the choice paralysis a little bit. So once I go down, my plan was every time I drop down to 10, I would add 5 more up until I just didn't feel like watching 2023 anime anymore. But I'm actually going to wait until I get down to 5 and then add 5 more. And then when I get down to 5 again, I'll add 5 more up until I don't feel like doing 2023 anime anymore. And so for right now, I started off with 15, but I've already watched the finale to Attack on Titan, and I watched Boku no Hero Academia Season 6. So I'm already 2 down. Technically, I watched the Attack on Titan finale when it aired, but, you know, I'm going to be doing reviews of those. So I'll do a review of the Attack on Titan finale, like both parts of it, which are technically 3 parts each, so it's kind of like 6 parts. I'll do my review on that. I'll do my review on Hero Academia Season 6. And so right now I have 13 left up here. I've got Benria Saito-san, which I'm 5 episodes in. I'm loving it so far. We got Nagatoro-san Season 2. I'm excited to start. We have the dog girl anime, Freaky Yeah. So we have that and the OVAs. But yeah, you know, solid ecchi, I suppose. It's different. Kori Zokusei Danshi to Cool na Doryo Joshi. This I am really liking so far. I am really liking it. But yeah, you know, I'm not going to say too much because I'm going to review all of these when I finish them. but I'm enjoying it so far. 4 episodes in. I did 1 episode of Ningen Fushin no Bokensha Tachi ga Sekai wo Sukuyo desu. So this didn't get great review scores, but it was something that I said I would try to watch from when I do the PVs, like these videos on the PVs that you're currently watching. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I've done that with a few anime. Like, this wasn't the original 15. There were a few that I was like, okay, I gave it a shot. I watched like part of the first episode or the first episode and was like, yeah, I'm not continuing this. I'm not watching the full thing. But this one, it didn't get great review scores, so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to end up dropping it. I liked episode 1. I still don't know if I'll end up dropping it. Like, maybe it doesn't hold up, but I liked episode 1 so far. One Piece I'm going to be watching up to 1088 for right now, because that's where 2023 covered. And every once in a while, I'll get in one of those moods. I'll get that motivation where I'm like, ooh, I really want to watch One Piece. I'm going to have to wait to get into one of those moods before I continue past 1047 right now. I'm going to have to rely heavily on those moods because my goal was to go from 1045 to 1088 because that's what 2023 covered. And I love One Piece. You all know I love One Piece. But the pacing is rough. And no, I'm not going to do any kind of One Piece, anything like that, because I'm reviewing these things, so I got to take it on its merit, on what it's actually delivering to the people watching it. And it looks visually gorgeous. But man, the pacing's tough. There's a lot of flashing lights, a lot of jingle keys, but the pacing's still kind of rough. So I'm going to need to wait till I'm in a real big One Piece mood, and then once I'm in a real big One Piece mood, I'll probably marathon through a ton of it. We have Onimai. I'm really excited to check that one out because I've been waiting to see it. Rogo ni Sonaeta Isekai de Hachimannai no Kinka o Tamamasu. So this one looks good to me. It is another one of those more chill ones, so it might be something that I might not, vibe with after a few episodes and end up dropping, but I'm definitely going to give it a chance. Again, it's like the ones I covered in this video that I just, if they're on the list, I'm giving them a chance. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale has already had a second core and I think already a second season. So since it's already getting more seasons, it's got to be at least somewhat good, right? So I'm excited to check that out. There's a lot of fantasy romances in recent years that look good. Tokyo Revengers, I loved season 1, so I'm going to be watching season 2 soon. I just, I've been watching these things. I usually watch anime just like when I eat dinner or something, I'll put an episode on, or when I take a lunch, when I go eat lunch, I'll watch an episode because it's only like 20 some minutes, even less if I'm if I skip the opening and ending, potentially. So I usually put something on while I eat my lunch, or maybe while I eat dinner at night if I'm eating alone. So then, I marathoned through. There are some that are like marathon anime, though, that it's like I'm just going to marathon even when I'm not eating. And Tokyo Revengers might be one of those. Hero Academia was just one of those. I literally just started doing 2023 stuff, and I immediately marathoned through Hero Academia Season 6. It was so good. Tomochi Mononoko, again, looks very good. Something I've been looking forward to. Tondomo Skill, I think, is getting a second season right now or soon, maybe next season. Or maybe it just got one last season. But I think it's, another season already. And it got really good review scores, so I'm interested. Urusei Yatsura, pretty good so far. I think the story and characters to me so far are kind of meh. The visuals and music, though, are very, very good. So just continuing on with that. But yeah, that's what I'm watching right now for 2023. A little bit of a bonus to the end of your video. But either way, gonna call it here. I guess let me go over to this. Like, if you did like the video, or comment down there, tell me what you thought of all the anime that I'm giving a chance to. Is there anything that you don't think is going to be good and you want to save me the trouble and be like, hey, hate to break it to you, you probably won't like it? Or more likely, is there anything that I didn't include that I watched the PV for, I said, no thanks, but you actually really like and really want me to watch and review? Let me know if I missed out on anything that you want me to watch and review. Subscribe for more anime, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, that's free and open for anyone. If you would like to help support the channel, Also, if you want to just follow along with what I'm watching, like I said, the anime list, the Annie list, is always down in the description. But if you want to help the channel by sharing the video around or by dropping a super thanks, that's really appreciated. And if you would like to help support the channel by becoming a patron or member, I do One Piece bingo every week for the manga. You get One Piece bingo early if you're a patron or channel member, and you get your name at the end of videos. So if you want any of that, or just to help support the channel and just to help me to keep making things, then hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. Thank you to people who are already patrons and members. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan, Holly, and Bertie Booster. Thank you to Magical Girls, Evernono, J.A., and the D-Van. Thank you to Cherryton Student, David Langstaff. Thank you to Slayer Candidates, SGN, Stan Cedar. And thank you to Pure Elements, Pateodale, and Elsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for sticking through this, sharing this with me. So next time, I should have put this at the beginning of the video. Dang it. I should have put this at the beginning of the video. Something that I wanted to do for these was to watch the PVs with you all, do it as a stream, but I tried to do it as a video just to test how copyright would go, and copyright absolutely annihilated me. They just, like, even though it's PVs, I'm watching your ads, I'm watching ads for you. Yeah, the PVs, just music got caught on pretty much every single one. Video stuff got caught on nearly all of them, and I had to edit them heavily. I had to spend so much time editing to get past copyright stuff. So I don't think I can do that on stream. Like, maybe if I weren't streaming on YouTube, but I feel like, don't you also get caught for copyright stuff on Twitch or anything like that? So I would have wanted to do it as like a shared experience. Do you want me to try to do that next time, and I just wouldn't be able to show them on stream? I would just stream it and be like, okay, we are starting the PV now, follow along if you want, and then we could discuss as I'm watching them. It would take hours to do. It would be an hours-long stream, because usually when I watch all of the PVs for the season, it takes me hours to do. But just let me know if that's something you'd want to see as a stream, even if I couldn't show things on screen, because if I showed things on screen, I would have copyright issues. I tried, sorry. But until then, this is just what I'll do for seasonal anime until then. Thank you though, and I'll see you all next time.